Welcome, my friends. Thank you for joining me for this episode today. I am taking a week off and I'm visiting my sister up near Portland, Oregon. So today's episode, I'm going to be talking about welding and cargo trailers. So if you're interested in welding and fabrication and modifying your cargo trailer with welding, then this video might be for you. This video is sponsored by Renowned Cargo Trailers. I'm inside my sister's house right now. Today it's Saturday and it is typical Oregon weather here. Let me show you outside. This is a beautiful morning here in Portland, just outside of Portland. This is a valley. This is my sister's rear deck view off of her balcony. Here you can see the valley down below and the fog and the mist and the rain. It's just drizzling rain. They must have, I don't know, a dozen different kinds of rain here, but it's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning and just gorgeous, but overcast, a little bit cool and drizzling rain. Those of you who have watched my channel for a while have seen my brother-in-law before teaching me, Merrill, mentoring me on several things in my step van build, and today he's going to be helping me out with learning the basics of welding. I had a little bit of instruction about 3 or 4 years ago from Paul in Fresno, but I'm planning on doing quite a bit of welding on the cargo trailer, and I need a refresher and a basic tutorial. So Merrill has offered to do that today, and he's excited about it because he's way into welding, so this is a perfect match. Here's Merrill out in his garage preparing for the welding lesson today. I think he's cleaning up some scraps. I have my leather gear on now, getting ready to do a welding lesson. So the thing I wanted to explain is cargo trailers, most of them that you buy, and mine in particular, have tubular steel for the framing that supports the aluminum skin on the outside. There are some models that have aluminum, but most of them are going to be steel aluminum tubing, and mine has 1 inch by 1.5 inch tubing, and it's put on 1 foot centers. Others might be 1.5. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to add a window or a door or other items to the wall, then you're going to need to modify that, cut that. You have to cut the aluminum skin as well as cut across the vertical, and you have to cut the vertical tubular steel. So I'm going to be doing that and putting a bunch of windows in the side. So what I want to do is cut off the vertical edges, and then I need to weld short pieces or a long piece across the bottom where the window will fit in. So I want to focus on learning how to weld tubular square tubular steel. So that's what we're going to do today. Merrill went out, I think yesterday, the day before, to a welding place and just found some scraps and paid a discount rate to get a couple of little scraps to work on. And so he's going to be doing a little tutorial. I've asked him if it would be okay for him to talk to the camera, and he consented to that. So this is my brother-in-law, Merrill, that you've seen before in some videos. And today he's going to tell us a little bit about welding, just the basics. So Merrill, what are we going to be doing?
Well, we have some just various projects I've been hoping to get to in the garage here, and some practice material that we brought in. We're going to be using a MIG welder. That's a metal inert gas welder, which means that when you're making the weld, it gets really hot, it oxidizes. You want to prevent that oxidation, so you surround it with inert gas. The kind of welder that 7 has is a flux core welder, which does the same thing using some material inside the wire of the welder to prevent the oxidation. So this produces a little bit cleaner weld. This is an old Hobart Beta MIG 170 that I have. It runs off a 220 volt AC, and inside of it, it has a spool of wire, and as you pull the trigger on the stinger here, wire comes out of the end of the nozzle. It creates a electrical circuit with the grounding clamp here and creates an arc, and then it starts to melt the wire as it feeds into the weld pool. It's surrounded by the inert gas in this case, and that's how we make our weld. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's talk a little bit about safety gear. When you're welding, you're obviously working with a lot of really hot stuff. So things that are good to have is a welding jacket. Welding gloves out of leather are absolutely essential. Having eye protection with a welding helmet. This one happens to be an auto one. They're pretty cheap. It's really worth getting the auto ones. And those are the main things. I also have something to cover my bald old head here, so this is the cap that goes on my head. Foot gear is also a good idea to keep in mind because hot sparks are going to be going everywhere, so just be aware that if you've got nylon shoes that you may have a little more excitement than you planned on. I have to warn you, I'm really more of a weld it big, grind it pretty kind of welder, which means that I'll get in and I'll lay down a weld and it won't be as pretty as the ones I wanted, and so I'll grind it down to where I really want it to be. But it'll be a strong weld that will hold. So that's where everybody starts out, and that means I'm a little bit of a hack, which is okay. I'm a garage mechanic. I'm a garage fabricator, and so if I ever go into welding, then I've got to get a lot better. So we're getting ready to just do a little bit of welding on this piece of metal here. Got our ground clamp on the piece of metal. We've got our stinger ready to go. The welder's turned on. I'm guessing at the amperage that we're going to use for it. This is kind of thick metal. And so I'm going, this is the really nice thing about the self-darkening helmets. You can lower it down and see what you're doing. And we're just going to tack that on. That means put it on temporarily and see how we like that. And that's about where I want it to be. This is just a little fixture we're going to use for some temporary welding work that we're going to do. So I'm going to come around to this side. And we're just going to lay down a bead here in the back.
Alright, so my history in welding is that when I was 19, I did just some fabrication for a little bit of time working in a shop and yard just between my freshman and sophomore year of college. And then about 3 years ago, Paul in Fresno gave me a couple of lessons, and so today I'm really trying to get a refresher, get my skills, try to go back through all the steps because I don't really remember them. So that's what Meryl's tried to set me up for. So right now we have a piece of angle and a piece of flat, and I'm just going to try to do a weld along this edge here. We've got this already trimmed, set up. We have this I don't know, connection for the electricity here. I don't even know what that's called.
The ground clamp.
The ground clamp, yes, of course. And we'll try this. I'm going to mask down first and see how I can do this. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, how was that?
That looks fantastic. Very good. I probably want to get the weld just a little bit more down towards the base metal.
Okay,
if you see, if you're looking at it here,
yeah,
you see it's got kind of a, it curves in right here,
yeah,
which means that we've got good, excellent penetration up here, poor penetration down into the base piece.
okay. Not too bad for not having done this for many years. That actually came out okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, your speed was excellent.
Okay.
Your little cursive E's were good. You've got
Yeah.
a nice looking weld there.
Okay, good.
And now it's just getting it down on both sides a little bit more.
Do I go back and do that now, or do we need to
If
cut
you want
this
to,
off?
we can do that, or we can just go around the other 3 sides. Either way.
I'll go around the other sides. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. Let's take a look at it.
A couple of little
pretty good.
pockets there, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Except for those little gaps, it was pretty decent.
I think excellent job.
Thank you. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
There you go.
That one's a lot better.
Yeah. You can see how long that stays hot.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, but nice weld there.
Thank
Good
you.
penetration on both sides. Good job.
So that's all I wanted to accomplish, is just sort of go back through a basic tutorial and then get some feedback on my welds. I think I got a couple of good welds here and some insights into what I can do to improve it. I think I feel pretty good about it. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your patience with most of the video being out of focus. I hope that you found something at least of value or interest in it. If not, I do apologize. I think probably the next episode after this will also be out of focus, and then after that I think everything will be fine again. So thank you again for your patience. Savor the moment, and I'll see you in the next episode.